what was running in your head, David, nung inimbita mo kami? Ano bang meron?
Actually, so many ideas, came in.
So having this platform specific to inspiring the people, having stories close to the Filipino values and even the JCI values, that's what really pushed me to be on board with the project. Kaya I'm honestly so excited. Pero I'm also curious what you guys think Built Different means.
So this is not the only studio, guys, na makikita ninyo because we'll be traveling into different places. We could be having our podcast at the beach. We could be having our podcast at a rooftop or wherever it is. We could be having our podcast outside the Philippines.
Hello, welcome to Built Different, a leadership podcast powered by JCI Manila. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome all of you to the set, of course, to the people you're going to be seeing on a per episode basis, and to the rest of the amazing stories we're going to be sharing with you. My name is Jazper.
And I'm David.
And I'm Rhett.
All right, so we're going to be talking about Built Different. First of all, how did it come to life? We start with you because you're the one who actually enrolled us to the idea of having a podcast. So tell us more about what was running in your head, David, nung inimbita mo kami. Ano bang meron?
Actually, so many ideas, came in, and we had to think of an avenue where it is like the congregation area for wealth of stories inside JCI Manila. Now, we don't want to limit the stories kasi to the audiences of JCI ecosystem. Right. So basically, what we want to happen is the stories can be resonated by people even on the ordinary, like mga ordinary tao lang natin na nakikita natin or in mga nanonood ng mga social media or nagsuscroll ng content on social media. And the objective is to inspire them and to see that, okay, everything that I have in my mind, the goals, the dreams, these are all achievable because of this person started on the same place that I am in right now. And, whatever path that I want to take, there are stories that we can learn from. And here in the stories of JCI Manila members, and even not just here in the chapter, but also external speakers, guests. We want to bring it into the Built Different podcast. Okay, so marami tayong pwedeng gawin. Marami tayong message na pwedeng ilabas dyan. And the goal is to be a selfless provider of wisdom to every Filipinos.
That's about it. Thank you for joining us in this. Tapos na! No, but then when you mentioned that, actually, when you called me and asked me to be the chairman of this project, I said yes. Actually, that was a perfect time also because I'll also be launching my own podcast. And, inisip ko, paano nga ba to? How is it gonna be parallel to each other? Am I gonna be able to do this? But I took it to myself to make it a challenge also for me. I mean, there are a lot of stories to tell for sure. So here and there, I know there will be parallelisms, and it's all about, as you mentioned, telling the stories to the people. I mean, we have the platform right here in JCI. I have my personal platform, but then as much as possible, if we wanna shed light and to inspire more people, the more the merrier, diba? So I think that's why you said yes also when we asked you to be a part of this project.
Ako kasi mahilig talaga ako sa podcasts. Like I always listen to podcasts, but I noticed na the ones I would listen to are puro Western. Like if I were to look at business leaders, puro CEOs ng ibang bansa. So having this platform specific to inspiring the people, having stories close to the Filipino values and even the JCI values, that's what really pushed me to be on board with the project. Kaya I'm honestly so excited. Pero I'm also curious what you guys think Built Different means. So maybe Jack.
Built Different. As we mentioned kanina, diba, we have different stories, and for sure we have different backgrounds also. So I think the goal in life for us is to be happy first, and then of course successful, and we have our own stories to tell, and in our own way, we want to achieve success and happiness. We have our own journey. So I think that's how Built Different is, diba? We have our own challenges in our lives that we had to go through, and we go through every day. And I think the plethora of all the experiences that we have will be able to inspire people, see things differently as well, as they all build themselves together in their own path, diba? As we all carve something, our own space in our lives, in the community, in our country, or in the world at large. How about you, brother?
Well, built different. I mean, just internalizing that tagline, no? Parang everyone has their own unique gifts. Everyone has their own unique way of expressing themselves. But it just takes the right push, the right environment, and the right person to unleash that built different flame inside you. So parang for me, like, we're all having these private conversations in our head in whatever time of the day, diba? Whether you're taking a shower, whenever you're driving, and sometimes those private and intimate conversations you're having to yourself takes the right environment to be showcased out there. Okay, because I strongly believe, let's say for Filipinos, there's an extreme wealth of talents here in the Philippines. Not just like talents in singing and boxing or whatever it is, no, but talents of expressing themselves in whatever way, whatever legal way. Okay, doon sa way nila of expressing themselves. So parang for me, being built different is defined by each and every person. It's not like there's a standard definition to it. Like I'm different, I'm built different in such a way of, my humble beginnings, my background, in both my personal life and my professional life. You're built different in your own way, in your experience, you're built different in your own way. But also, especially with the ecosystem of JCI, if we're all together, like how do we make that different stories of built different go into a common goal? Right? Go to the same direction, see the light at the end of the tunnel na lahat tayo, yun yung nakikita natin. Okay, so basically that's the built different definition for me. So how about you?
Ako, para may iba naman, kasi nga built different tayo. Ako kasi, whenever I hear stories nga ng mga big empires, mga big names, yung mga binibuild na legacies, parang gusto ko through this podcast, ma-demystify natin yun. Kasi usually, di ba, when we hear big company names, mga big businesses, or mga tycoons, parang they're way up there, parang unattainable. Someone who sees them might think na they can't develop to someone of that status. Or parang, what am I missing? What conscious decisions do I have to do in order to improve myself as a leader? And I think that's really where Built Different's gonna come into play in our podcast, because we're really going to teach you how to be effective leaders, how to connect to your people, how to really strive for growth for yourself. So I think, at least for me, that's what Build Different means.
I like that. So kung nandito ka, ibig sabihin, you are there to learn, to grow, and of course, we're excited to be with you along the way. So you've mentioned already about demystifying the big leaders. So sino-sino nga ba yung may expect nila to get to know in our episodes? Ikaw, do you have an idea, or at least we could also put in siguro kung ano yung mga nasa wish list natin, because we're gonna be doing the legwork anyways in inviting them. Para sa'yo, who do you think should be invited or who are gonna be a part of our show?
Well, I've already seen the roster ng list natin kung sino yung mga guests, and I can just say talaga ang gagaling ng mga guests natin in terms of the potential they have to impart their knowledge. But personally, I think it would be very interesting. Ako kasi galing ako sa Chinese background. And I feel like Filipino-Chinese people do business differently. So I guess we can use this as a platform to shed light on maybe the changes throughout the generation, or kung ano yung different cultural differences nga in doing business. Ikaw ba, David?
Well, for me, siguro abangan nyo na lang kung sino yung mga magiging guest ng Build Different podcast. No? But one thing is for sure that these guests or these people have wisdom that has been tested by time. So meaning they've been through the ups and lows of their professional journeys and even on their personal journeys. And even they can share kung ano yung mga pinagdaanan, especially for those na napamanahan ng mga family businesses, na ano yung story behind nung ginawa nung family nila or nung parents nila, yung mga brands na kilala natin for sure, na typically ng mga household brand names na to mga to. Or it's more of making sure that our guest are credible, our guests have something valuable to share, and we are very fortunate actually. So this is not the only studio, guys, na makikita ninyo, because we'll be traveling into different places. We could be having our podcast at the beach. We could be having our podcast at a rooftop or wherever it is. We could be having our podcast outside the Philippines para lang puntahan yung guest na gusto namin marinig nyo kung ano yung mga istorya ng buhay nila. So, ganyan ka-intense ang magiging journey natin for this season.
Amazing. How committed we are to bring the best stories. Pero yeah, na-excited din ako in terms of the variety of the guests that we have. Because sabi nga natin, they're not just gonna be coming from JCI Manila. We have leadership in various fields, di ba? So I think, it would be surprising for some of you guys na parang, ano kaya yung mako-contribute ng next guest nila for this episode, given that it's a leadership kind of podcast? I mean, you'll be surprised because we are our own leaders. We have our own ways of being a leader in the different fields that we walk on, diba? So, very exciting yan.
The Built Different podcast would like to thank Henry's Camera, Power Mac, Hollyland, U Green Philippines, Kappa Cabina, Surge Digital Media, Jazz Up Communications.
I mean, these guys, and of course myself, are all from JCI Manila. And the reason why I joined JCI Manila was because I missed myself during high school, elementary, college, being a student leader. And I found, I think, an avenue, even at my age, to be able to do that and make an impact to the society. Kaya napasali ako sa JCI. How about you?
I joined JCI back in 2021, so not so long ago. I was just invited by my college classmate. So, I was asking him, because during that time I was like looking for opportunities to do speaking engagement about marketing, about business, since that's my profession, that's my company. And he asked me, "Oh, bro, why not join us na lang dito sa JCI? Because there are a lot of opportunities. If you're looking for speaking engagement, you might get more from this as long as you're willing to, to do service to humanity." So then after that, the rest is history. And joining JCI Manila has been one of the best decisions that I've ever made, so without sugarcoat, no, a lot of experiences here, a lot of fun experiences here. So yeah, I mean, sa'yo.
I think the reason why I stay in JCI is because it really supports my continuous learning. Parang every day, doing your projects, meeting new people, you gain a lot of different knowledge that you wouldn't necessarily get anywhere. And in a way, itong podcast na rin, it's sort of an extension of imparting that knowledge to our viewers. So if that's something you're very keen and interested in listening to or even watching, we invite everyone to please stay tuned for our Built Different podcast, streaming on our different platforms.
That's every Wednesday. Make it a habit to join us for continuous learning with us as well, ladies and gentlemen, you folks. My name is Jazper.
My name is David.
And I'm Rhett.
And welcome to Built Different.
The Built Different podcast would like to thank Henry's Camera, Power Mac, Hollyland, U Green Philippines, Kappa Cabina, Surge Digital Media, Jazz Up Communications.